Hey there, Vikings builders. It's another episode on Squee-El's gaming channel of the Base Showcase, and today we're playing Valheim. This is going to be the last video, hopefully, before new content. We're expecting the Mistlands update, the free update to this game very soon here, so I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys what I've already got going on in this game before we get to that video. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I do my creative mode in this game. If you hit F5 if you're on the PC, make sure you type in dev commands first. That basically just enables cheats. And then I do debug mode, which is like your creative mode, being able to craft without resources and all that cool stuff. And then I do God, so that way I can't die. And with that enabled, you can also hit Z to fly or to land, which we're going to be using a little bit in this video. But we're going to dive right into it now. This is my first base. This is pretty much where I started out. I've got some ships here, which is kind of the main way to get around in this game, but as you can see, my ships are kind of glitching out right now. I'm not sure what that's about over there. My bonfires just went out here. It's got wood. Oh, it's just another glitch. But those I kind of use as like a little beacon. I guess if I'm sailing out there, I can kind of see from a distance where I'm at. Normally they stay lit much better than that, but anyway. I've got an overlook up there, which we're going to get to in a little bit here, because there's a portal system I have kind of going in this base that you got to use. I guess we'll get a little overhead view real quick. I didn't go as hard on this game. It's not as sophisticated as some of my other builds, so forgive this one's a little more sloppy, but it's still cool. I had fun with this game. I've got a bunch of wolves all over the place, so you're going to see wolves everywhere. They're kind of my basic soldier in this game. And I've even got a couple of these Lox guys, these like buffalo type thing that you can ride or use to pull carts around. That guy looks like he's struggling a little bit there. But yeah, they're mainly here to kind of keep the border protected from these random insects. I don't really face too much danger here. But let's go ahead and start the tour. I guess if you would come in, I guess this would kind of be my front door here. Got my blacksmith area that he's in charge of. This is the little merchant guy in the game. Normally you have to kind of go out and find him, but there is a way to spawn him. And he always ends up like a foot or two above the ground, so I gave him a little rock to stand on, but he's sort of in charge of this area. I've got my basic house here, which I've got a lot of cabins in this game. They're not really too special. I did give this one a cool little yard with some plants, but it's basically just an area to throw a bed so I can spawn, a little extra storage, you know. I've also got my town center right here, which is also, you know, kind of my crafting area, so to speak. Get in here. Got all the crafting tables. I've even got a cool little throne here, little Christmas tree and everything. I guess this is a good time to mention too, this armor that I'm wearing here is like the Fenrir set. It came out recently in one of the updates where they added like the caves and these new like wolf Fenrir type enemies. And that's who you would farm for this stuff. I got a little prison here in the bottom, similar to something I actually did in one of my Conan bases, a little underground prison. But that's mostly it for this base, minus the fact that this bug wanted some heat. Death Skeeto. Yeah, now he's kind of stuck. Whatever. Forget that guy. I got a little escape hut portal here. This portal's kind of isolated from my other portal system just because this is kind of like an escape route. I guess for role-playing sake for this base, if the base was ever breached or compromised, you know, you just pop over here. I got this tiny little cabin, and then you would come out here and there's a boat. This is a good ways down the shore from the base. This little cabin was already here. I kind of just put a door on it, closed it up. If we look at the map, we're right here, and the base is right there. So we're going to go back to the base here, and then we're going to take a portal to this goblin camp here. So that's where we're going to be once we get to the goblin camp, and I have a portal there, which is going to take us to the center of the map here, which is the boss area. This is where you spawn the bosses at. I don't have anything going there. I've already killed all the bosses, but this is the map overall. Got a couple different things we're going to highlight in a minute here, but I just figured I'd show you guys what we're doing now. We're going from there to there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back through here now. That jack-o'-lantern outside is supposed to be lit up, but I don't feel like throwing some more resin in it. But I do have other jack-o'-lanterns. We'll see one lit up here before the video comes to an end. Basically, you could celebrate Halloween or Christmas in this game, I guess, via their decorations, so that's kind of cool. Gonna go ahead and go to the goblin camp here. That's where this portal right here will take us. This little dock here As you can see there was kind of my little portal hub. I've got portals taking us all over the places. That's how we're going to access the various different bases. I didn't build any of this stuff here minus the portals. This area was originally occupied by goblins, but it was too close to my main base, which is right over there, for comfort. So I came in here and just threw in a bunch of wolves, and they cleared the place out, as well as pretty much prevent any new goblins from spawning. So this area is basically mine. And this portal, like I said, is going to take us to the boss area here, which this is the one portal that has the least purpose, I guess you could say, in the game. But this is the boss area. As you can see, all these little totems are lit up already because I have already killed all these bosses. There's various different things I'm not going to get into in this video, but kind of methods you can go about to summon the bosses and kill them. And that's kind of, I guess, how you sort of would complete this game. Although I, of course, cheated every step of the way, so they didn't even have a chance against me. But we're going to go back to the main area now. Just figured I'd let you guys know that that was there. Maybe if you're new to the game, you know, you want to work your way to that little altar eventually and start trying to chip away at the bosses. Which, instead of using the portal back, actually, I'm going to go ahead and just fly all the way over here. Probably isn't going to save us any time either way, but... And we're back at the base now. So now if we come back over here, we've got this portal right here taking us to what I call the Wolf Bunker. This is another area that was sort of already pre-built in the game. I just fortified it a little bit more, filled it in. But we come in here, we're sort of underground now. I've got this lower level here, little area. I decided I wanted to build an extra area beneath here, which I started, you know, as you can kind of see, it was starting to go a little bit. And I wanted to build more out this way. This is when I started discovering that this game like allowed you to do light terraforming, but the problem is instead of being able to build a tunnel, it cleared the ground all the way up to the surface up there. So I had basically a huge hole here instead of a tunnel like I wanted, so I ended up having to fill in the roof here and pretty much halt that project altogether because I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But we go up the stairs here. There's like a light little second platform here. As always, there's plenty of wolves defending. Take the stairs up another level, and we've got kind of this opening here. Now, this is what I had to work to fortify because none of this was closed in originally, and I wanted it to be somewhat secure. I've got wolves all over the place here, as always. These wolves generally get pretty busy. This area is one that's you have to fight a little bit harder to secure because you can kind of see in the distance there's random dragons that fly around. Somehow the wolves tend to do pretty good against them, even though, you know, they're airborne. They always tend to kill them somehow, so... They do work here. And I've got plenty of wolves in the area, as you can see, so this base is pretty secure. We're going to go ahead and go back down here to the portal. And before we go, I'm going to show you guys just on the map where this base is compared to my other one. I don't remember that death. That's sort of funny. But see, kind of right here, it's in this snowy mountain, right kind of on the border here of where you got the regular Valheim area, and then you get to the more south area that's more this desolate kind of wasteland, volcanic, I guess, if you will, but it's more of just kind of like a dry area. But in comparison, this is where we came from. This is my main base, so it's just a little bit down this main island here, sort of still pretty much connected to my main base. So we're gonna go back here now, though, and that's minus the one overlook, which we're gonna get to real soon here. That's it for this base. Which actually, in fact, and that little bug, he's probably going to have to go. One of my wolves will get him, hopefully. But we're going to go ahead and go to this overlook right here. Just to show you guys this. Normally, without cheats, this area can only be accessed with that portal right there. It's just a little hot tub area here. Got a great view. You can see the goblin camp over there that we've already checked out, and the main base down there from where we just came from. So it's a cool little spot. Sit in the hot tub if you want. Technically, you can sit in here, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Just chill. Now, this portal right here, I'm not going to use it because I want to come in through this portal over here. But that portal would normally take us to the portal system in my second base. Which, keep in mind, everything that we've seen so far, this is all part of my first base. This is when I was pretty new to the game. I was building all this. But I've got I'm going to go to New Rohan here, which is my second base, obviously themed after Lord of the Rings, only because the only comparison this base has is just that it was kind of a nice little fortified area in the middle of a large open field. I think technically there's a place in Skyrim that's very similar, but same kind of concept. Much built in a much more lazy fashion. The main thing of this base, you get in here, you got some cool like hot tubs and type stuff. This base is a little under fire more constantly. I mean, as with most places, I've got plenty of wolves patrolling, so I don't think it's going to ever be in any real danger. But there's this sludge pool right here, as you can see. I got some wolves kind of working their way out of it. This almost constantly spawns these black sludges. And unlike most of the other areas I've secured in this game, the spawn for these guys never stops. So these wolves are pretty much always going to be in conflict over here, but they should be able to keep this place mostly secure. For this base, I built most of this myself. However, these 3 huts here, like this one here that we're coming down through, these were already here. So like that hut, and that hut. And these 2 huts are pretty much just glorified ways that I built to get up to the top there. And as usual, I got old boy here hanging out. But the back hut here is actually a little bit more functional. I did build a little bit more into this one. Kind of made it like a little sleeping area. Got a big old gold stash. Go up the stairs here. There's a tiny little throne here, as well as like a back room here. Sort of hard to get into, but yeah, it's just a bed. And that's really all there is to it. Come back down here. You could go out the front gate there and start, messing with the sludge pool and all that, but there's really not much else to this place. We've got the overlook there, kind of similar to my first base, except for this base, the portal system is located up there. And that's where this portal right here is going to take you. It's going to drop us right up there. So we'll go ahead and just formally make our way up there, even though I could have flown up here. Just kind of show you guys this stuff the way it was meant to be used. This portal right here would take you to the chill spot. That is the overlook in the first base that we just saw. So that's why I didn't want to use that portal, because there's 2 different portals to get between these bases, that being the second one. So I'm not going to use that portal. And obviously this portal would take us back down to the ground. That's where I just came from. So we've got these 2 here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and look at this tower here, because this one is kind of the most detached. It's still considered part of my second base here, but there's really not a whole lot to this. I kind of just, as you can see, a little guard tower here. It's really all there is. Not much to it. Compared to the rest of the base, and some little locks group down there. The rest of the base is over there. It's a little hard to see from here, but there's a sketchy little forest area right here that I kind of just figured was worth like keeping an eye on. I can easily teleport over here at any time and look at it. Enemies don't generally leave the forest, but the deep forests in this game are typically the more unfriendly parts of the game. But if I come back over here, you can see that's my main base there, where we came from, the evil sludge pool. I'll go ahead and show you guys my little Stonehenge here. This isn't something I built, minus this little pedestal right here with this awesome hammer, which is the same hammer I'm using, kind of one of the better weapons in the game. But there's no portal over here. It's kind of just a site that I decided to take advantage of. If I were to build anything else in this area, I might take advantage of this little, like, creek type area here. I mean, I think this is kind of cool, but I haven't gotten to the point of building anything else yet, but I'll probably do something there. And we'll go ahead now here. We've got some extra boats here, but I want to show you guys Fort Wolf here. Just kind of another area for me to just throw some wolves. Some of the wolves are pretty much like my grunts, my army in this game, so figured they'd use their own little fort here, kind of sort of close to my secondary base there. You can see the overlook. This is another thing that was pretty much built on its own here, like these stone ruins. I just fortified more, closed it up a little bit with some barricades, made it a little bit more comfortable here. Give it its own doorway to come back to the second area here. And that's pretty much all that's going on here. If this guy would get out of my way. And you've got another portal up here, right? Okay, so this portal, if this wolf would get out of the way. Well, okay. There we go. I was gonna say, looks like we're flying, but I managed to squeeze my way into the portal. No thanks to that jerk. But this just simply takes us all the way back up to the top here. Ta-da. And that's how this is all connected. So that's New Rohan. I've got one other base to show here, but in order to get there, we're going to have to go back to the first base because my third base does not connect with my second base. I kind of did that intentionally because I wanted everything to sort of revolve around my first base. But, yeah, so we're back here now. Come back down here once again to my major portal system here. And normally that's how you would come and go from New Rohan, that's how we got over there initially, right? Now this is the last portal here, taking us to Thornvik, my town, not even a town, my base in the mountains here. Now this is the tallest mountain that I was able to find, and I spent a good minute flying around looking for the tallest mountain. I don't know if it's the tallest mountain in the game, but this is the tallest mountain that I came across after a minute of searching here. Kind of see this little cabin here was already kind of built. It's the one part of this base that was already here. I pretty much just came in here, you know, patched up the wall a little bit and made it a little bit more homey. This was another effort of me to terraform. We'll get into this in a second here because I carved a path in the mountain down here to the rest of the base, and as you can see, this was the result. Instead of getting a tunnel, it just like split the mountain in two. So don't terraform much in this game. Real quick though, we've got a portal here on the other side of the original portal. Now this is kind of my escape portal. If you guys think to the first base, how I had that portal that took me to like the escape cabin, well, this portal here is the equivalent to this base's escape thing. Just pretty much takes you to an island here in the middle of nowhere. You know, a little deer that's just eternally swimming in the ocean over there. Some escape rafts, another swimming deer there. But that's literally all there is to this part right here. If we look at the map, this is where we're at here currently. This is the boss area that we were at earlier, and here is, you know, my main base type setup. So we're over here now, Thornvik. There's a couple different things here which we're in the process of looking at here. Or I'm sorry, we're over here at Thornvik. This was the previous base. I guess I should have pointed this out sooner. I apologize, everyone. This is where the second base that we already checked out. So then we got the first base down here. We're here kind of like in the middle of things. So technically this is closer to the second base, but the portal is linked to Thornvik here, the third base. And I guess I'll go ahead and show it to you guys right now. We're going to take the portal back here, and we're going to continue exploring Thornvik. And in the process, that's also going to lead us over here to the swamp outpost. And that's pretty much, as far as the map, that's what I've got going on here. The next final base I'm going to be building will be in the Mistlands, which will be a separate video after this one. And I'm not quite sure yet where on the map that's going to line up. But we'll get to that when the time comes. Let's go ahead and show off the rest of this base and take our stairs down here. Kind of got a cool little area here, just sort of a little comfort area. Got a little place here, safe from the snow even. Nice little hot tub. Overlook of what things look like from the tallest mountain in the game, which is mostly just the skyline and this majestic world tree that's pretty much visible from almost all parts of the map here. If you look closely here, you can see right down there, there's like a little fortress type thing. That's about halfway down the mountain here. And that's where we're going to take this portal here. Once it loads in here, show you guys what we got going on. Now, keep in mind that other second area, because there's a different portal that takes you to that, but I wanted you guys to be able to see it from the top. This area, however, this is at the very base of the mountain. This is like the bottom. So if you look up there, like way up there, that's where we came from. So we're all the way at the bottom now, kind of at the shoreline here. I wanted to have another boat, you know, it's like another way out. This is something that was kind of already built, like a lot of the stuff I took advantage of in this game. And I kind of thought, it never really occurred to me to try to build anything in the water before, which is sort of kind of bummed out about because I'm sort of past the point where I want to keep playing this game without new content. Otherwise, I got somebody over there. Oh, it's a troll. How about that? But yeah, I thought this was cool. We got the portal there. You go up the stairs here and you've got like my most sort of just not even a complete cabin, just kind of lazy, but it was something. I more or less just wanted to have the portal here just to access this area. As you can kind of even see here, it's mostly underwater, so it can't really be used. But this is like the wolf bunker that I had earlier, except this one is completely submerged in water. So there's no underwater combat or swimming to my knowledge or anything, so there's really no way to use this at all, unfortunately. But this is kind of what the wolf bunker looked like before I built all those wooden fortifications on it and whatnot. And this is a pretty unfriendly area, but my base mostly should be secure because it's got a ward right here keeping them kind of away from this area. And then there's a ward over here as well, so these are pretty much with the intention of keeping enemies away. But that's pretty much it. Let them go to war with each other over there. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the top of the mountain. And I want to show you guys that tiny little place halfway down the mountain that I showed you guys a second ago before we ended up here. So we're going to walk over here to these other portals. And that's this one, Keep. So this is going to take us over to that area I showed you guys a couple minutes ago. Yet another sort of ruined stone fortress here that I kind of just built on. As you can see, this is it. The base is up there, at the top of the mountain. But if you come in here, I didn't do a whole lot to this one. But it's pretty much just like a little stairway up here. Got a cartographer table here. A little view, nothing really to this one. Come back out here. And now this is my one successful attempt so far in this game for terraforming, as I kind of did a little man-made cave here. Built a little doorway. You come in here. Classic, got one of those guys, and that's really all this is. This was originally a larger opening, and I kind of wanted to make it a little smaller, so it was like a window. Kind of cool. And there's a lit-up jack-o'-lantern. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video. One of my other jack-o'-lanterns burned out, but there's a lit-up one. So, if you guys feel a little festive, there you go for that one. And that's it for this. So, now I'm going to go ahead and fly back up to the top here instead of using the portal. We're back up here at Thornvik. Now I've got 2 portals left, and that's it. This one right here doesn't work. This is going to be Niflberg. Kind of going with a theme for naming my towns here. This is going to be where this portal is going to take us to the base that I'm going to be building in the Mistlands once I have that all set up. So there's nothing connected to this portal yet, but I just figured I'd let you guys know that's what that one's for. And that just leaves this portal, which takes us to the Swamp Outpost. So you guys have seen, this is Thornvik, this my little base. I know these aren't my most creative bases I've done so far, but this game's a little bit more... I feel like this game's more of like kind of an off-brand game, so to speak, compared to a lot of the other games. So I just didn't have the same motivation in this one, but it was cool for what it's worth. I was a little surprised that you could do a little bit more building in this one than I originally thought you were going to be able to. So like this base here is a tree base, and once again, I've got kind of a simplistic little cabin here. At this point in the game, I had never really thought to try and build in trees. I didn't even know you could. So I was pretty much done with the game by the point that I built this base. But I figured once I realized you could build in a tree, I might as well just throw this quick little house up here. As usual, I've got my wolves. You can kind of see this little area right here is sort of like an in-game dungeon. I'm not going to be messing with that because I don't have a key for it, and I wasn't really here for the combat on this video, but there's another one over there. This second portal here, when you first come in, that's the one that we came in. This portal would take you straight to the ground here. Again, kind of building my bases under the assumption that maybe at some point I wouldn't be cheating. So you can come down here. These wolves have got this area well secure. But that's really it. I just kind of built this base here in case I ever actually wanted to come and mess around with these dungeons. There are some good things you can get in the swamp. And I hadn't really previously built anything in a swamp before. So, pretty cool. You can kind of see these guys have been busy slaughtering things. Oh, they got someone else here that just spawned up. And I usually spawn in most of my wolves pretty powerful. So they don't get messed with too much, but yeah, you can kind of see a little bit more how they keep the area secure. Wolves are pretty what's up, and I've got so many of them. Got some of those fire sprites in the distance even. Some of the wolves are branching out a bit farther than they usually do, so that's cool. But that's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and take this portal back to Thornvik. This is kind of usually where I spend most of my time in terms of my bases now. And as with the next video, we're probably going to be starting right about here, taking this portal to Thornvik, where I will hopefully have more content to show you guys. I'm hoping to maybe take you guys on more of an actual build with that video. I guess I'm going to leave you guys with a couple comments here real quick before I end the video. One is that I figure some of you guys might like to know that this game is coming to Game Pass early next year. I've been playing it on PC. Unfortunately, I won't be on Xbox because I've already put a lot of time into this game, so sort of missed the mark for it. But I think it's really cool that it's coming to Xbox. A lot of people have been playing this game, and they've been adding a few updates to it. The next update coming to the game is the Mistlands. It's going to be free. That's going to be the focus of the main video for the sequel to this one, pretty much. The next video, one of the next videos in the base showcase, it's either going to be the Mistlands for Valheim, which is going to be a free update to the game, or it's going to be the Age of Sorcery for Conan, which I think is also a free update, but for Conan. And I've already kind of got some blueprints laid out for my Conan bases. This is the last video for the moment for the base showcase, so I just kind of wanted you guys to get all caught up on what I've done in these games, as far as my builds. The next video, I'm hoping to take you guys with me on the adventure of actually finding a new base location and building said base before I get it all linked up to all this. So the next video will be a little bit different and a little bit more inclusive in showing you guys the content and everything that's going on. So make sure you guys are there for that one. And subscribe to the channel so you guys will catch it when I upload it. As far as the actual release date for the Mistlands and the Age of Sorcery, check out my Instagram, The Legends of Squee-El. Mistlands information is not available yet, but I'm expecting it any time now because it's been in the works for a minute, whereas Age of Sorcery is already detailed on my page. And again, that update is for Conan Exile specifically. But we're going to get to either one of those updates I'm expecting within the next month here. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we're going to do those two videos next. And as far as this video, I know I didn't do the best base building in this one. This is my my least inspired game out of the ones I've shown off recently, but it's still got a special place and everything. But let me know what you guys thought, if you've been playing this game or if you're waiting for the Xbox launch. Make sure you guys give the video a like, subscribe to the channel as always, that helps me out. And as always guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.